While Microsoft 365, formerly known as Office 365, has implemented various anti-phishing measures to protect its users, researchers have found a bypass for the first contact safety tip feature within the application. The researchers demonstrated how these safeguards can be circumvented by determined attackers with sufficient knowledge of CSS. One of the key anti-phishing features in Microsoft 365 is the first contact safety tip, which alerts users when they receive an email from an address they don't typically communicate with. However, researchers have discovered a way to bypass this measure by manipulating the email's HTML code. The vulnerability lies in the fact that the safety tip can be hidden from the user by altering the HTML code of the email using CSS style tags. This can be done by changing the background and font colors to white, effectively rendering the safety tip invisible to the user. By using strategic CSS styling, researchers from Certitude were able to effectively hide the first contact safety tip from the email's recipient. This was achieved by changing the background and font colors to white, effectively rendering the alert invisible to the user. Building upon their findings, the researchers took their exploration of Microsoft 365's anti-phishing defenses a step further. They were able to spoof the icons that Outlook uses to allow users to recognize emails that are encrypted and/or signed, potentially deceiving even more attentive users due to the level of similarity. After developing their proof of concept and preparing an advisory, the researchers responsibly disclosed the issues to Microsoft through the Microsoft Researcher Portal, or MSRC. While Microsoft acknowledged the validity of the findings, they chose not to address the vulnerabilities immediately, citing that the issues were mainly applicable for phishing attacks and that they would be marked for future review as an opportunity to improve their products. We determined your finding is valid but does not meet our bar for immediate servicing, considering this is mainly applicable for phishing attacks. However, we have still marked your finding for future review as an opportunity to improve our products. Microsoft MSRC, February 14, 2024. The discovery of the first contact safety tip bypass vulnerability serves as a fine example that no security system is foolproof, and users should always take adequate precaution against phishing attacks. Anti-phishing measures at the individual or employee level can include maintaining caution against emails from unfamiliar senders, checking for unusual formatting or spelling mistakes, and verifying the authenticity of emails before taking any action. At the organizational level, security teams for enterprises that rely on Microsoft 365 can consider implementing additional security measures to complement existing anti-phishing features. Small CSS tweaks can help nasty emails slip through Outlook's anti-phishing net. Researchers say cybercriminals can have fun bypassing one of Microsoft's anti-phishing measures in Outlook with some simple CSS tweaks. William Moody, IT security consultant at Certitude, blogged today about how first contact safety tip, a banner displayed in Outlook when a user receives a message from an address that typically doesn't contact them, can be hidden, mostly, using CSS style tags. Because the first contact safety tip is added to the HTML code of an email before the message content, all a phisher would have to do is craft an email solely in HTML, changing the banner's background and font both to white, and voila, the banner still exists but is no longer visible. Moody said, although applying some more common CSS rules such as display none, height 0 pixels and opacity 0 to the table itself doesn't seem to work, either due to the inline CSS in the elements or due to lack of support by the rendering engine Outlook uses, it is possible to change the background and font colors to white so that the alert is effectively invisible when rendered to the end user viewing the email. The only drawback to this one is that the email preview displayed in the left side pane in Outlook will still display the first contact safety tip message in small gray text under the email body preview. That said, the preview is small and will likely be truncated on most display setups, making it easy to miss to those unaware of the message and working too quickly to pay attention. As an added layer of perceived legitimacy to a potential phishing email, the same method can be applied to add a seemingly legitimate note to show the message was encrypted or signed. Again, there are a few caveats to this. It's not a like-for-like spoof. The formatting will look different to more attentive or experienced Outlook users, and it takes a little tweaking to achieve a halfway convincing end result. Users call on Microsoft to update Outlook's friendly name feature.